The question of man's origins has been on the minds of scientists, priests, and scholars for eons. From the pillars of ancient Greece to the hallowed halls of science, speculation has spanned the ages. In more recent times, the theories of Charles Darwin drastically transformed our views of reality. The problem, however, which even Darwin was forced to admit, was the substantial lack of fossil evidence. Most are familiar with the term missing links. As time has progressed, the evidence which scientists all believe would appear simply has not arrived. While there are now mountains of fossils proving evolution within species, there is little or no real evidence for trans-species development. While we can see, for example, horses changing and developing their shape and form, there is no evidence for species-into-species macroevolution. At the same time, science as a whole tends to manipulate the evidence, using peer pressure and collective ridicule. Evidence that does not fit the prevailing evolutionary paradigm is ignored. While creationists do a fair job of giving evidence which challenges evolution, they then rely on a weak intellectual circle where the Bible proves faith, and you have to have faith to prove the Bible. While such circular logic may be useful within the church, it gives little for the modern seeker of our true origins. Creationists do offer proof of sudden appearances of species, which not only debunks the evolutionary model, but then asks the simple question, if man's appearance was sudden, then who or what did the creating? The thesis which Lloyd Pye and Sitchin expound on is that what the Sumerians knew was communicated to them by a race of advanced beings whom they considered gods. Those gods are said to have come to work on Earth from another planet in our solar system. A planet with an elliptical 3,600-year orbit that carries it between Mars and the inner edges of the asteroid belt to well beyond the orbit of Pluto in the deepest reaches of space. The Sumerian tablets further contend that the Anunnaki, the formal name of the gods from the planet Nibiru, came to live on Earth 400,000 years ago because they needed gold to repair their atmosphere, which they had damaged during their rise to high technology. The Anunnaki genetically engineered humans to be their slaves. The biblical verses dealing with the fashioning of the atom are condensed versions of much older detailed Sumerian texts, found inscribed on clay tablets in which the role of the angels in Genesis is performed by the Anunnaki, those who from heaven to earth came. The term Nibiru comes from ancient Sumerian tablets and writings dating back over 5,000 years. Nibiru literally means planet of the crossing. Astronomers speculate it exists and call it Planet X. The Sumerian culture was the southern part of today's Iraq. It was said to be the home of a technologically advanced human-like alien race, the Anunnaki of Sumerian myth, who came to Earth from Nibiru and were worshipped as gods contributing to humanity genetically. They were in fact alien beings who transformed and populated the planet for their own reasons, later returning to Earth and through a process of genetic manipulation producing humans. These alien beings are responsible for the advancement of the first recognized civilized culture, the domestication of plants and animals, and the unexplainable flaws in the human DNA.